Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Patriot Nation TV. I'm your host, Tim Davis, aka Professor X, your New Age Patriot with a 1776 attitude. Just one man, one opinion. Trying to connect the dots in this bizarre world. It's bizarro. Definitely is bizarro. It is Monday, March 14th, 2022. So, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's get started. It's two things. So let me start off by saying this. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. William Shakespeare. It's theater. It's a quote from William Shakespeare. So it brings me to the two things that's really not being reported. One is just totally got swept under the rug. The other one is still the media narrative pushing. So let's talk about the one thing that happened last week, was Biden's executive order against the crypto, and Biden's crypto order and future of money. And false flag operations. I believe there's a false flag going to come soon. So let's get to this Biden guy, another tyrant. Biden, his executive order on crypto, where he's transferring power to him. And he's going to direct the Treasury, State Department, Attorney General to study the CBDCs. He's going to use the FCOSC, will study financial stability of crypto. He's going to look at digital asset impact on market competition. He's going to direct the SEC, CFTC to look at market protection. Basically, he's using a scare tactic of the guises of security and safety, right? Because I guess Russia, China, a couple other countries are doing cryptocurrency. But here's the kicker of it. I'm not going to get too far into it. I just want to give a quick update. But here's the kicker of it. In it, they sneak in a thing about climate change. He's basically saying it's more subtle point, but Biden always dropped to mention the sheer energy cost. Sorry, I got an itch. Baked into digital currencies like Bitcoins. He wants the government to study ways to make crypto innovation more responsible. That's what he says. Reducing any negative climate impacts. Basically, they're trying to just regulate. Decentralizing everything's not good for them. They want control. And all wars are banker wars. It's economics. So if they implement this is a way to punish someone by locking their accounts and digital funds. If you speak out, vote against, you can't control people. You can't control me or you. You can't control us if we have cash in our pocket. But you can control us by locking our digital funds up. They're pushing for this digital thing. They want to try to end cash. You got to remember, a government big enough to give you everything you need is big enough to take it away. And yes, they only want digital currency. Don't think they don't. There's a war on cash that's been going on for 20 years, if not longer. They want complete oversight and control of everyone's allotted resources. They're not happy over the country's resources. They want your resources, the little bit of funds you have. Yep. As Canada's Trudeau proved that when he froze the truckers' accounts. It's in the plan. A month ago, Trudeau did it. Cash will be no good if it goes digital. What good it's going to be? They can make the dollar exchange very low. You got to remember what has been said. What I said in the Great Reset. Go to the website. It says it. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Right? They can already lock your bank account so you can't withdraw cash. The IRS Here's the problem with these executive orders, and I don't see anybody talking about it. I mean, it's kind of frightening, actually. The Constitution explicitly gives Congress exclusive domain over U.S. currency. Even though we give it to the Federal Reserve, but still it's Congress. No president has authority to run around with that presidential order or decree. That's an impeachable offense. You can't do that, but he did it. People are buying it. War powers, maybe? I don't know. In this short term, states can fight back on this as they do have the authority to print and issue currency. States have that authority. The thing is that currency can only be usable within the state. But it is an option for short-term solutions to bring this to a head. You just can't let them just take accounts and you know. It's amazing that there is an insane amount of Americans that actually live their happy, blissful lives, thinking that frequently Starbucks, using Apple products, getting a job in big tech, and buying a Tesla is the peak of human spirit. They really think that. You know, they're just giving up our rights. And I believe that of our first 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights, they're all but gone except for maybe the third and the sixth. Third Amendment and the Sixth Amendment. Everything else is already crossed out under emergency powers using the NDAA Act, Patriot Act, other acts during other wars, and so on and so on. So I believe Biden is going to try his hardest to be crashing the crypto with the national regulations. They're going to regulate the hell out of it. So it's going to be basically it's currency wars. It's currency wars. And that's what I think it's all about. So that brings me to the false flag. What is a false flag? A false flag is a covert operation designed to deceive. The deception creates the appearance of a particular party, group, or nation being responsible for some activity, disguising the actual source of the responsibility. Somebody else commits an act and they blame it on another person, and they have the whole media in the world, backing them, right? Don't get me wrong, false flag attacks doesn't mean it's fake and people don't die. The sick truth is, a false flag means people are set up to die for a political agenda. Right? It's time to wake up, folks. It's just right out there. And I believe America, along with its European allies, I don't think America's leading the charge, but America is not too far behind. But I think America's planning a false flag with with the NATO and European Union. I think they're planning a chemical weapons attack, a biolab attack. Right? There's no biolabs. They're going to claim Russia did it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to claim Russia did it. And if you think about it, really, Russia wouldn't do it. They don't need to, Because to me, Russia's winning the war. If you really pay attention, I think Russia won the war already. Now it's just a war of propaganda. It's been a war of propaganda. You got to remember, they will fight to the very last man, 100%. So what I mean by Russia is basically won. If you look at the Ukraine, it's really like a triangle. Like that. Down in here is like where all the water waste is. So being it's, like this, Russia got the whole East Coast, north, northwest, west, and now they got the south. I know you see the big chunk in the middle that they haven't conquered yet, you say. Doesn't matter. You can't get in and out of Ukraine. He controls the air. He owns all the ports now, controls all the ports. So now it's just wait it out. Zelensky really should surrender, not unconditionally. You just say, okay, we'll stop fighting each other, talk. If they can't do that, then Zelensky should be removed by his own government to negotiate peace with Russia. They're not going to win. But he, like I said, he sees himself as a hero in his own play, while bringing more death and destruction upon his own nation. Nobody's going to break us. He's still playing that, role. You're beat. You're beat. Words of a madman as his nation burns, right? It's ridiculous. And Zelensky's really still trying to drag the entire world into his war after poking Russia for years. All he has to do was declare Ukraine will not join NATO. That's all he has to do now. No NATO, no EU. You say, oh, who is he to tell another country to do that? It is what it is. We force other countries to do the same thing. Stop poking the bear. Every choice matters. It's not worth starting a World War III with the false flag of they're getting close to NATO borders. Yeah, well, NATO is shipping munitions into the Ukraine through roadways and other ways. They're getting shot out now. So it's just weird, We are definitely living in extraordinary times, folks. Who is real? Who is fake? Who speaks the truth? Who speaks lies? Who do you trust? Who you don't trust? So on and so on and so on. The world is your stage. Really is. The show must go on. So, as we've seen the last 2 weeks with the media, and they're still going to start up, the media lie, propaganda liars. Said for weeks, Russian Air Force is not effective. Now, the last couple of days, they're screeching about Russian fighters blowing up NATO Ukraine airbase. Journalists allegedly getting killed. So on and so on. Now, all of a sudden, it means something, right? I look at it like this. It's everything we have ever accused Russia of doing, we have done. Jailing protesters, persecuting dissidents, rigging elections, invading sovereign nations, overthrowing democratically elected governments, censoring political opposition, state propaganda pushed by the mainstream media. Right? Well, we're guilty of it. There's no moral or ethical high ground anymore. There's not. The only difference between the West and China and Russia is perspective. It's really what it is. Some emo man want opinion. That's just my perspective of it. I think no more entanglements than European problems. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm going to tune out. So God bless. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.